What happens when you're faster than the universe can calculate? We're ranking every major speedster, from Sonic to the Black Racer, based on raw, objective data. We're moving past the who would win debates and looking at the reality of their feats. To make sense of the sheer scale, we've grouped these characters into 4 distinct tiers, from those limited by physical laws to the entities that have transcended the concept of time itself. If you think Quicksilver is top tier, you're operating in the wrong dimension. We start with Tier 4, the supersonic to hypersonic bracket. To a normal human, these characters are impossibly fast. They can outrun bullets and cross cities in seconds. However, in this hierarchy, Tier 4 is defined by limitations. These speedsters are still bound by the laws of physics. They deal with air friction, sonic booms, and biological exhaustion. They represent the peak of what a physical body can achieve before the rules of reality start to break. Here are the heavy hitters of the lower Mach numbers. Leading the pack, or rather trailing it, is Chitara. She is the baseline for this tier. While she can outrun almost anything on her home planet, her top speed is roughly 120 in most iterations. Even if we use her highest-end versions that push her toward Mach 1, she remains the slowest entry on this list. She represents the absolute entry point of super speed, faster than any natural predator, but still firmly grounded in terrestrial physics. Next is A-Train. Clocked at approximately 1,000 meters per hour, or roughly Mach 1.3, he comfortably breaks the sound barrier. In the world of the boys, he is a celebrity for being the fastest man alive. However, on this global scale, he is quickly outclassed. While he can outrun a jet, he is still limited by a massive metabolic cost and the physical strain on his heart, reminding us that in Tier 4, speed still has a price. Moving up, we have XLR-8. He is a massive jump in utility. XLR-8 can hit 500 meters per hour almost instantly, using friction-reducing orbs on his feet to maintain momentum. While his average travel speed is lower than A-Train's, his peak feats are far more impressive, suggesting he can reach Mach speeds high enough to make his surroundings appear frozen. He is the bridge between simple, running fast, and the reality-warping speed seen in the higher tiers. Then we have Borsalino, better known as Kizaru. Logically, he should be at the top of the list because his body is composed of photons, meaning he moves at the speed of light. However, he is the perfect example of why Tier 4 is defined by limitations. Despite his elemental nature, he is restricted by his own organic reaction time and the physics of light itself. He typically travels in straight lines and must aim his movements. He has the ultimate engine, but he's still using a human steering wheel. Closing out Tier 4 is the gatekeeper of the supersonic bracket, Quicksilver. While Pietro has massive outliers, he typically operates between Mach 4 and Mach 10. He is significantly faster than anyone else in this tier, even hitting extreme peaks where he has outrun radio waves. However, he remains the ceiling of Tier 4 because he rarely touches the infinite or extra-dimensional speeds of the characters waiting in the tiers above. He is the fastest a person can be before the speed force or cosmic power takes over. Do you think Quicksilver deserves a spot in the higher tiers, or is Mach 10 his rightful limit? Let us know in the comments if he's being underrated. That brings us to Tier 3, relativistic to light speed. This is where we cross the ultimate threshold. The characters in this bracket don't just move fast, they defy the standard laws of physics, easily clearing the speed of light. However, they remain within the boundaries of a single universe's laws, meaning while they can outrun light itself, they don't yet possess the multiversal or conceptual cheats found in the top 2 tiers. Leading off this tier is Shadow the Hedgehog. In his base form, Shadow is a physical match for Sonic's standard speed, but his true potential is unlocked through chaos control. By tapping into the emeralds, he doesn't just run, he warps space-time itself to bridge the gap between points instantly. While his raw travel speed sits just below the true cosmic entities, his ability to manipulate the fabric of reality puts him firmly at the start of our relativistic bracket. Next is the yellow flash of the leaf, Minato Namikaze. While his signature flying Raijin is technically instant teleportation, Minato earns his spot in Tier 3 through his raw physical speed and reflexes. He possesses high relativistic reaction times, allowing him to perceive and respond to threats that move at near-light speeds. Even without his teleportation seals, his natural velocity is so great that he can outmaneuver opponents who have already reached their peak, making him a master of the relativistic battlefield. Then we have Speed Demon. Originally a chemist who created his own hyperspeed serum, James Sanders eventually pushed his powers even further through advanced technology. He is fast enough to exceed the speed of light, effectively crowning him as the fastest of Marvel's street-tier speedsters. While he lacks the cosmic status of the beings that follow, his ability to break the light barrier using purely chemical and technical means marks the absolute peak of Tier 3. If you're enjoying this breakdown of the fastest beings in fiction, make sure to hit that like button to support the channel. We now ascend to Tier 2, Cosmic and Universal Speed. At this level, the scale of the planet becomes irrelevant. We are no longer measuring speed in Mach numbers or even the speed of light. We are measuring it by how many galaxies these beings can cross in a single breath. These characters operate on a universal scale, possessing the raw power to traverse the vacuum of space at speeds that render interstellar distances meaningless. Leading this cosmic bracket is Makkari. As the fastest of the Eternals, Makkari's speed isn't just a superpower. It's her primary purpose. Following a massive cosmic upgrade, she achieved the impossible by winning a race across the entire galaxy, outstripping almost every other powerhouse in the Marvel Universe. When you can outpace the Silver Surfer and cross interstellar voids in mere moments, you've officially left the laws of conventional physics behind for a truly universal scale. Even faster than Makkari is the Runner, an elder of the universe. His entire existence is dedicated to the pursuit of absolute velocity. He doesn't just move through space, he dominates it. Capable of traversing the entire universe faster than the blink of an eye, he consistently leaves the fastest heroes and cosmic beings in the dust, proving that when speed is your primary evolutionary goal, the distance between galaxies becomes a mere afterthought. Standing at the peak of the universal scale is Sonic the Hedgehog. While his game version is fast, his Archie comics and supersonic iterations operate on a completely different level of reality. This version of Sonic has crossed the entire multiverse in a matter of days and moved with such sheer velocity that he literally restarted the flow of time. He doesn't just travel through the universe, he outpaces the very concept of linear history, pushing the limits of Tier 2 to their breaking point. If you are this far in the video, make sure to subscribe before we reveal the top tier. This brings us to the final summit. Tier 1. Conceptual and Speed Force entities. At this level, light speed is considered a slow crawl. We are no longer discussing physical momentum or cosmic travel. We are entering the realm of the Speed Force, a fundamental force of nature that exists beyond time, space, and the multiverse. These entities don't just run. They exist as the very concept of movement itself, possessing infinite velocity that allows them to be everywhere and everywhen simultaneously. At the threshold of this absolute power stands Godspeed. August Hart takes the concepts of Tier 1 and weaponizes them with unique Speed Force efficiency. He possesses the rare ability to literally divide his speed among others or even clone himself by being in two places at once through sheer velocity. While he can manipulate the Speed Force in ways that baffle most speedsters, he ultimately sits at the entry point of this tier. Formidable and conceptually broken, yet still operating in the shadow of the primary flashes. Next is the Black Racer. As the new god of death, his velocity is tied to a cosmic mandate. He must be fast enough to catch speedsters at the exact moment of their passing. He doesn't simply run or fly through space. He is a conceptual inevitability. Mounted on his celestial skis, he navigates the Speed Force not as a participant, but as its ultimate conclusion. If a speedster can outrun light, the Black Racer must outrun the speedster, proving that no matter the velocity, entropy is always one step ahead. Then we have the Black Flash. If the Black Racer is a god using the Speed Force, the Black Flash is the Speed Force's own personification of death. It represents the ultimate expiration date for all things that move. Its feats defy the logical boundaries of physics. It has outrun the literal end of the universe, racing into the Big Crunch, where the concept of time itself ceases to exist. It doesn't just travel through dimensions, it pursues its targets into the void beyond existence, proving that even at the edge of the multiverse, there is no escaping the stillness it brings. Next in our hierarchy is Savitar, the self-proclaimed god of speed. During his peak, he stood as an apex predator of the Speed Force, possessing a mastery over velocity that allowed him to outclass almost every speedster of his era. He didn't just move, he commanded the energy around him, utilizing it with a level of precision that made him appear untouchable. While he was ultimately surpassed by the primary Flashes, his reign as the absolute authority of the Speed Force's power remains a testament to what happens when speed is treated as a divine right. Then we come to the anomaly of the group, Hunter Zolomon, better known as Zoom. Technically, Zoom isn't fast in the traditional sense. He doesn't use the Speed Force or physical momentum. Instead, he manipulates his own personal time stream, slowing down time for everything around him while he moves at a normal pace. To an outside observer, he possesses effectively infinite speed because he is moving between the ticks of a second. This unique temporal advantage allowed him to consistently outpace even Wally West, proving that controlling time is the ultimate counter to raw velocity. We then come to the living engine of malice, Eobard Thawne. As the creator and conduit of the negative Speed Force, Thawne doesn't just tap into a power source, he is the catalyst that keeps it running. This unique connection grants him the ability to move through time at will, effectively existing as a living paradox who can rewrite his own history or erase others from existence. Because he isn't bound by the same causal laws as other speedsters, he is consistently capable of matching or even exceeding Barry Allen, serving as the dark, relentless mirror to the Flash's legacy. Moving into the absolute upper echelon, we find the man who started it all, Barry Allen. Barry isn't just a user of the Speed Force, he is its very generator, creating the energy that every other DC speedster taps into with every step he takes. His feats are legendary, transcending physical limits to reach the purely conceptual. He famously outran the Black Racer, successfully outlasting the concept of death itself, and even outpaced the nothingness of the Anti-Monitor during the Crisis. When you are the source of the power that governs movement in the multiverse, speed becomes a redundant term. Ultimately, the hierarchy of speed demonstrates that velocity eventually transcends the physical and becomes a conceptual force. What begins as a race against the clock evolves into a race against the very fabric of existence. At the lowest tiers, speed is a tool used to dominate a battlefield. In the middle tiers, it becomes a means to conquer the vastness of the cosmos. But at the pinnacle, speed is no longer about distance. It is about authority. Beings like Barry Allen or Hunter Zolomon don't just move fast. They dictate the terms of time and causality, proving that if you move fast enough, you don't just inhabit reality, you control it. The finish line isn't a place. It's the point where physics ends and the impossible begins.